Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Friday, October 11th, and we are here trying to help you make better, less bad, just maybe more considered financial decisions or life decisions. You know, I have a friend who always used to say, like, stop calling it Jill on Money, it's Jill on Life, because we know that so many things in your life, the decisions you make have ripple effects. It kind of spreads out. It's like your emotions, but it's your money and it's your choices. And so if you feel like you need some guidance, some coaching, why don't you get in touch with us? All you need to do is go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and write us a note. And if you'd like to join us on the air live, check that box. And then Mark will do everything else because he is the very best executive producer in the world. Also, while you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Friday. And Mark does a great job. He compiles interesting stories that you may not have seen throughout the week. You can also subscribe to our service called Jill on Money Live. That's where you have access to quarterly live webinars, the back catalog of those webinars, bonus video content, other things that are up there, you know, fun stuff. That's all for a bargain basement price of $35 for the next 12 months. So you should check that out. Okay, today we are going to chat with Andrew, who is on the line from Colorado. Hello, Andrew. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Jill and Mark?
Doing very well. What can we do for you, sir?
So my wife and I are suddenly home shopping. We owned a plot of land and a condo, decided to forego building on the lot, and are now shopping for longer term homes. We live in a mountain kind of ski resort town, so prices are a little higher than what we're used to spending on houses in the past. And doing my due diligence, looking at our assets, looking at our income and kind of what fits into our budget, I backed into a number that was a little higher than I was maybe comfortable with, and wanted to just confirm with you guys that I'm not missing anything or what an appropriate budget might be for what we're looking for.
That sounds very interesting, because I always it's like, well, I had a number in mind. That's not the number. Did you already sell the lot of land?
Yep, we sold the lot of land. A couple of weeks ago, we closed. And so we have a big cash balance there that we'd be using for this, as well as eventually some equity from the condo that we would be looking to sell.
How much do you have in proceeds from the land, and how much equity from the condo could we count on?
So right now, liquid set aside just for the house, there's about $127,000.
Okay.
The condo, I would estimate, is worth $375 to $400. We'd probably net between $70,000 to $100,000, and I'm using $70,000 in my calculations to be conservative. So almost $200,000 total.
Okay, and the mortgage on the condo, how much was the interest rate on that mortgage?
We snuck in just under 6%. It's 5.99.
Okay, so it's not going to be such a huge change for you. In terms of, okay, because if you said like 2.99, you were like, that sticker shock might really drive you insane.
Yeah, we got the condo about 2 years ago, so rates had just started climbing back then.
Got it. And how old are you guys?
We are both 36, 3 days apart.
Okay. And do you have kids?
Nope, no kids now, and not planning to.
How much do you guys earn together?
My income's pretty set. My wife's is variable. Total, I conservatively estimate about $235 to $250 a year.
Okay, that's great. And are you guys making retirement contributions?
Yep, I max out my 401k 50-50 pre-tax and after-tax. My wife does not have access to an employer plan, but we do both max Roth IRAs each year and an HSA each year, which total is probably a little over $40,000 for all those four.
Wow. So how much money do you have in your retirement account? You can do it, you're combine it for the pre and the post in terms of your 401k.
So 401ks, total, we're about 230. Okay. Roth IRAs are about 95.
Okay.
HSA is about 20,000. And then we have a taxable account that we treat as a retirement fund, even though we can access it. That's about 75,000.
Wow, that's great. You've done an amazing job saving. That is so good. So when you were backing into your number for the new home, were you scared because it was $1 million or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, was that the number?
Yeah, it was somewhere between 900 and a million.
Oh, I'm so
that,
glad. I'm glad that I'm relevant still. I can guess that. So it's $1 million.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not so terrible. Relax. It's all right. I mean, you make a lot of money.
Yeah, it was the sticker shock, and maybe some of this is interest rates too, because I had been assuming rates don't come down, so it'd get a little better if they did. But being locked into a $5,000 a month mortgage was eye-opening.
What is your current payment for your condo? And give me, the principal and the interest, but also give me the homeowners insurance. The homeowners association. So
the principal and interest on the mortgage is about 1,900. The HOA is another 425. Okay. So we're about 23, a little over 2,300 there.
Okay.
Before selling the lot, that payment was about 800 a month, but we were setting aside 350 a month for taxes, so 1150 there. Almost 3,500 between the two. We had a car payment, some student loan payments that were maybe another 1,000 each month. Mm-hmm. So our total debt payments previously were about 4,500 a month, and so it doesn't seem like 5,500 is that much of a stretch to replace all of those. Which the car is now paid off. We use the land proceeds for that. The student loans are paid off. The land payment's gone, and the condo payment will be gone. So this would essentially be replacing those.
Okay, so forgetting about the sticker shock of $5,500 a month, that you would still feel, net, if you closed your eyes and we didn't say what the categories were, we're talking about, I'm going to make it up. Let's maybe $1,500 or $2,000 a month once we put your homeowner's insurance, and we know that homeowners is ridiculous now, so we're just top that up a little bit. So, and is it possible that you go from, 4,500 to 6,000 or 6,500? Sure. But you can afford that. You can totally afford that. I think it's like peeling back. What is it that you're going to end up not doing? Okay. So you said you're saving right now about 40 grand, right?
Yeah. And that's not including any just surplus in our budget that, isn't going into qualified retirement accounts. There's more that's kind of going into cash savings too.
How much money do you have just besides I know you have money that's in the bank from the land, that 127,000. What do you have in cash? Just boring.
Like 50,000 in an emergency fund.
Okay. Will either of you guys be entitled to a pension or no?
No pensions.
And do you have a sense, like your wife's income is variable. Do you have a sense that will always be the case, or do you think that there will be, I don't know, maybe a chance for things to even out a bit?
There's a chance that they would even out. A lot of the reason it's variable, she's in healthcare, and during COVID took a lot of shorter term contracts because they were paying a lot more. Mm-hmm. And so that has led to shorter term work contracts where it does vary a lot. And I think maybe if she does get frustrated enough with always looking for new jobs, she might settle into something permanent, but no idea what the amount would be.
So is she a 1099 employee worker, or does she get W-2s?
She has been 1099 in the past, which we set up solo 401ks for her to take advantage of that when she did, but W-2 most of the time now.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I know that it might seem daunting to have that extra digit, that million. You're going to put the money down that you need to put down. You'll get the rate that you're going to get. It'll be about what your rate is now. Maybe it'll be a little bit higher. I don't know. When is the timing of all this?
Very flexible. Nothing set in stone. We're kind of waiting for the right one with, land and maybe some views and close to the ski resort.
I mean, it sounds like it's very doable. You're not talking about having to fund future education. So now we're just talking about, what, in the near term, maybe we're not going to save quite as much money in that taxable account. That's really, I think, the only thing that's going to give for you. I think that you're going to get used to making this payment. I think that, if you have a bonanza year, or she's working maybe she might, let's just say, how the way I could see this changing more is I don't know what your upside is, but for her, it may not be that she wants to be as variable. Maybe she says, I'll just take a job. And then all of a sudden she might have a retirement account with a match or not. I don't know. We'll see. But even where you are this minute, 235 grand, doing what you're doing, getting rid of, eradicating all of your debt, now having a higher payment. It really would be happy if you just said, I can do this. I give myself permission to do this. We put ourselves in a position to do this. Like, you can do this. I do think talking to so many people about their journey on real estate is, you cannot time these markets. You just can't. So if you saw something that was great, honestly, even if it were like 1-1 and you had to stretch a tiny bit, like I wouldn't be afraid of it. But buy the place that you want to be in for the next 20 years. Enjoy it. You don't have obligations. You have obligations to one another. And that's really like gives you enormous amount of freedom. Do you guys both, I presume both of your families are okay? Just, is there anyone you're going to have to take care of, do you think?
Not expecting to. Our families both did a great job saving for retirement. And 2 out of the 3 parents are happily retired. So they're on a good path and not expecting anything there.
Okay. And no siblings that are like bust outs you have to take care of?
No, we're probably or at least in my family, I might be the underachiever in that regard. They've all done fantastic for themselves.
Oh my God. All right. Well, good. Then if you get into trouble, you can always tap that. Have you guys done your estate planning?
No, we have not.
Holy smokes.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Because, nothing bad can ever happen. Andrew, I know that what you understand to be like the best, most prudent thing in the world is to get your documents done. So my question to you is there an issue, or is it just, I don't know, like procrastination, or do you think there's some issue that looms?
Procrastination.
Okay.
Yeah, because we would definitely want, the medical power of attorneys and just spelling everything out in a will, especially with not having kids and wanting to split it up with siblings or whoever.
Okay, so do you know an estate attorney? Can we get you one?
Yeah.
Okay, how about you and me, Andrew, right here, that we in front of everybody. It's like declaring our love to each other. How about we pinky swear to each other that, I'm talking to you Friday, October 11th, that by Halloween, which is not probably something you need to celebrate in your family, that by Halloween, you will have an appointment scheduled with an estate attorney. Can you live with that as an agreement?
I can live with that as an agreement. I was going to say we'll push to November because we just bought expensive ski passes, but I can at least put something on the books by October.
Right, exactly. Just schedule the appointment,
Absolutely.
and then we'll go from there. But I know that you understand the importance of this, mostly because you're going to have a lot of assets, and if God forbid something happened to either of you, you just want to be able to make sure that things can get settled reasonably, and also just make sure that you guys have somebody you feel comfortable assigning as the successor, that if something happened to both of you at the same time, that who is the person who then makes decisions and carries out your wishes. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. One last question on the emergency fund. So I had said we have 50,000 kind of set aside in cash now, which is maybe 4 to 5 months worth of regular spending, with a bigger house where we're responsible for all the maintenance now. I mean, should we be bumping that up a little bit okay.
Yep. And so in fact, what I would say is, instead of adding money to the taxable account, that I would beef that up in the interim between now and when because you do have nice cash flow now because you paid off that debt. So now what I would do is I would beef up that cash. I might buy like a CD or 2 just to throw it in there, just to have it and lock it in before rates start coming down. And I think that when you buy $1 million house, you kind of have to think of spending, I don't know, some 3%, 5% a year on maintenance for something. It won't be every year, but you're going to need a little extra money. So my guess is that you're probably going to be needing closer to $100,000 on hand. It doesn't have to all be, in cash. It can be in some shorter term CDs, or you can throw some in your money market. But I really think that that's the biggest change that you're going to see, is that repairs will be heftier.
Absolutely. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Andrew from Colorado, go forth, go skiing, go buy a home. Very excited for you. If anyone here wants to come on the air and pinky swear with me about making appointments, we now have the receipts here. You see, we're going to play this back for you. We're going to call Andrew in a month and we're going to find out, did you make the appointment or not? Give us a holler, please, if you need some assistance, if you're worried about buying a home, is that the numbers are just not quite making sense to you. Give us a shout. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, check the box if you'd like to join us on the air live. And don't forget, you can check out our YouTube show called Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. We have a link to that right on the front door. You can subscribe to us on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. It is Friday. We do our business on Fridays. Our music is composed by Joel Goodman. Mark Talercio is our executive producer and king of all things web. We are distributed by Odyssey. We ask that you lift someone up, change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.